Fascinating tale from friend of the show, Troy Aikman, on hitting rock bottom. Mike Fisher reporting from Frisco, home of the Dallas Cowboys, where Troy Aikman and Super Bowls go hand in hand. They fit together beautifully 3 times. Could have, should have been more. They will tell you. He's one of those guys, by the way, that'll tell you we should have won 6 straight. I don't know. I don't know if that's realistic. I think there's a lot of reasons it's not been done. And of course, in the case of the Cowboys, one of the reasons it didn't get done because Jimmy wanted to leave. Yeah, I know, and Jerry too. So here's Aikman, and he's telling the story to the Flying Coach podcast. This is Sean McVay's podcast. And he talked about, it was probably his first Super Bowl, I guess, the Giants catching the ball pressed against the helmet. Giants Super Bowl win. And he says, I hit rock bottom after that game. Okay, and you're thinking, because rock bottom has these horrible connotations. What do you mean, Troy? You took to the bottle? What are we talking about? Well, as he tells the story, he says there was a Fox Sports party that was thrown, of course, afterwards. He did not attend, wasn't in the mood. He and his then wife went to dinner, bumped into Ron Jaworski. And Jaworski's all fired up and excited. Of course, he had gone from quarterback to broadcasting as well. And what a game. What a finish. What an incredible game. You were so lucky, Troy, to get to work that incredible game. You'll remember it forever. It's going to go down in history, and you'll go down in history. And Troy's at dinner, and he kind of says, yeah, Ron, I guess so. And Jaworski says, what's wrong with you? Don't you understand what just happened? You just broadcast one of the greatest. And Jaworski leaves, and Aikman turns to his then wife and says, what's the big deal? All I did was talk about a game. And Aikman's point, of course, was that broadcasting that game, a game, any game, let alone the Super Bowl, is just nothing like playing it. There's just no high that he was ever going to get again in his life professionally like he got as a player. And he turns to his wife, at the time, Rhonda, and says, I might have just called the biggest game I'll ever call in this profession. I might look back on this and say it's the biggest game I ever did. And here we are after the game ended, an hour after the game ended, and everyone's partying and ecstatic and thrilled. What a great game, great ending. And I said to her, Troy said to her, I could not be more miserable. There's your rock bottom. So Aikman says he came to realize it's just not going to be like that was. We'll have to find some other professional high that will never be the feelings that you get when you're in the arena and you're actually doing it, he said. But now I get satisfaction from my job. He's also very well paid, I might add. Troy is. He says, I don't know why it changed all of a sudden, but it did change after that Super Bowl, and I'm glad it did. Because if it hadn't, I just wasn't going to be able to keep working in TV. Because it wasn't satisfying. Not comparatively. And you want to walk away, Troy says, from your job feeling like you've done something worthwhile and noteworthy. And now, he says, I do when I leave the stadiums. Good thing, because we want Aikman to leave the stadium happy. We do not want him to leave broadcasting. He is still golden boy around here, as far as I'm concerned. So there's Troy's version of rock bottom. Not all that rocky, not all that bottomy, but a tough realization for him, and then a light bulb goes above his head. Good for him. Fish, out.